Hi guys, so today I'm going to make a chicken and rice dish. We're going to start by combining all of our dry ingredients together to make the marinade for the chicken. We're going to start with 2 teaspoons of dry chicken masala, so it's basically mixed chicken spices, about a teaspoon of ground white pepper, a teaspoon of onion granules, half a teaspoon of oregano, and some salt. Now I am using a pink salt, but it really doesn't matter and it won't change the flavour. Use whatever salt you have. You can also choose to use a stock cube or stock powder at this point as well. You're going to combine all the dry ingredients together until it becomes one colour and they're all really well mixed. And then add in 2 tablespoons of natural yogurt and just mix that into the mixture. And then you're going to add in a tablespoonful of tomato puree and combine that. And it will make it that little bit thicker, so that you're then going to loosen out that with the juice of half a lemon. So mixing that up really well, we're then going to drop in our chicken thighs. So I'm using 1 chicken thigh per person. So I'm cooking for 2 people here, so using 2 chicken thighs. And then I'm going to cover the chicken thighs in the marinade. You want to make sure that you cover every crevice of the chicken and that they're totally covered. You're going to wrap that up in a cellophane wrap, cling film, and leave it in the fridge for overnight or for as many hours as possible. So I left it here for about 5 to 6 hours in the fridge. With my kabsa, I will be serving it up with rice. So you're going to want to wash your rice until the water runs clear. Sit it for 10 minutes. And while the rice is soaking, we're going to cut up a red onion. Just roughly chop it into slices. They don't have to be any particular size. We're just going to roughly dice them. Now you can use white onion, but I prefer cooking with red onion lately. It's just what I'm into. Then you're going to heat up a pan and add in ghee. You can use a sunflower oil if you prefer, but I'm going to use ghee here because it adds so much more flavour to the dish. So I'm going to use approximately 2 to 3 teaspoons of ghee. I'm going to wait for the pan to heat up first and then we add in our ghee. So the minute this ghee hits the pan, you'll start to smell it. It smells really good. We're then going to drop in our roughly diced onion and brown that off. Just keep giving it a really good stir as it fries. Then we're going to add in 2 dried limes. So these are dried limes. They add in a really nice lemony flavour into the dish. You're going to want to add in 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste. Now I only had about a tablespoon left in the jar, but if you have it, add in 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste. We're going to fry that up really well, and then when the onions are browned off, you're going to drop in your marinated chicken. Scrape out all that yogurt, all that marination, because it's going to add in a really good flavour to the dish and you don't want to lose any flavour. So you're going to fry up the thighs, fry them on one side and then flip them over about 3 to 4 minutes in and fry them on the other side. I'm going to add in a little bit of water at this stage, about quarter of a cup full. You can see here I was trying to get the most out of my ginger garlic paste, and then added the water and shook it up and added it in, but it's essentially about a quarter cup. Then I'm going to add in 2 cardamom pods. This will add a really great flavour into your rice when you add it. I'm going to add in about half a stock cube. Because I already have rice in the marinade, I'm going to add in half a stock cube. If I hadn't put in that salt, I'd be adding in the whole cube. Then we're going to drain your rice that's been soaking for 10 minutes. We're going to roughly chop up some coriander and add that into the chicken. The chicken will be about 70 to 80% cooked at this stage, and that's when you want to add in your drained rice. So you're going to add that in. You're going to bring the chicken to the top of the dish and keep the rice at the bottom, and then cover it with water, just enough so that the rice is covered. The chicken doesn't have to be completely covered, just the rice. And we're going to make sure those black limes, those dried limes, are also pushed down a little bit just to ensure that they cook. You're going to cover that over. When it starts to boil, lower the heat to the lowest possible setting. After about 15 minutes, your dish will be done. It will be flavorful, aromatic. Your whole house is going to smell of chicken and rice, but that's okay because you're going to have a really good dish at the end of it. Now, I served this up with stuffed aubergine that was pickled, and also a chili yogurt dish. You can put vegetables on the side of this. Really, whatever you choose to have it with, it's up to yourself. It is a really, really hearty and flavorful dish. I top it off with some crispy onions on top because they just add in that little bit of crunch on top, and they're really, really flavorful. Whatever you're having, I hope you enjoy.